All right, don't. How come both of these things are working? I don't get it. Yesterday only one. Oh, look at that. All right, howdy doody, everybody. I don't know which one. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, all right, there's a happy face. She made pudding. And she put with her fingers, she drew a happy face. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard on a lovely morning. I think today's Thursday, and we have a good day planned, so let's get right to it. Welcome aboard, everybody. I'm saying that a minute early, and for those of you who are tuning in, with Spreaker or iTunes or anything like that, I understand there's been a couple of complaints about talking too much to the chat room. Okay, talking too much to the chat room. Guest Young. Now somebody's asking me if I. Oh, that's me. All right, I have sound. Welcome aboard. Okay, Greg is here. All right, so yeah, people are complaining that I talk too much to the chat room. All right, good morning, Arnie. Good morning, Beer Man and Greg and Cam and the Amazons and Dirty Yak and the Okie the Donkey, the DVD, the Easy Kill. Look who's here. It's the Fan Addict, Brian Ambrose, Lou, Guest Joe, and a cast of thousands coming in. And let's get right to it, okay? Andy, you have to keep your mouth shut, okay? All right. Of all the Yankee injuries this season, none has officially been a season-ending injury until now. That's right. We all expected it. Miguel Andujar undergoing surgery on his torn right labrum. He will miss the rest of 2019. How many of you now have the confidence to pick up Gio Urshela? How many have already picked him up? That's the big thing. Did you have the gumption, the intestinal fortitude, whatever it takes to pick up Gio Urshela? Are you going to do it now? Do you think Gio can hold off the rest of the year and continue? I personally think that it's a mirage, but I don't, the only thing I have to back it up with is his history of a player going through a hot streak. Players do go through hot streaks. And keep in mind that when a player goes through a hot streak during the course of the season, 9 out of 10 times, we don't even notice it, okay, after so many at-bats. But when it's done at the beginning of the year, it really jumps off the page, and it makes that player so much more enticing. So just be careful when you're picking up these guys and hang in there. For those of you who just joined us off of Spreaker or off of, I put up a post yesterday telling a few people about the podcast. I can't believe it. After 18 years of podcasting every day, there are still some fantasy baseball people that don't know that I do a podcast. I'm not saying that you got to like it. There are some people, I'm sure, who don't like it, and that's okay, but not to know about it, that's a tough one. Anyway, Brendan Rodgers getting called up, not a surprise. He got hit on the head with a pitch on Saturday night, and I didn't know what the results were until yesterday, and it turns out he's okay. We all know about the Hampson-McMahon thing. That was one of the major questions at the beginning of spring training, who would wind up being the second baseman, and if you recall, we said it was going to be Rodgers. And I've been telling you that the great Jim Bowden also told us without a doubt that Colorado wanted Rodgers to be their second baseman. So there you go. All right, Brendan Rodgers will be coming up today. And what a great fab weekend this is going to be. It's going to be. But remember, a rookie is a rookie is a rookie. Here's one of the real interesting things. We're all knowing that after the amateur draft, Craig Kimbrell, Dallas Keuchel are going to be sought after by a number of teams. Has anybody in the chat room even thought? Has anybody given it a thought that perhaps the Tampa Rays would consider Craig Kimbrell? That perhaps the Tampa Rays would consider Dallas Keuchel? Okay. So there you go, okay? Who would have thought that Tampa? Does anybody think that we should include Tampa in the mix for Kimbrell? I mean, why not? Well, I know why not, because they don't spend any money. They got a ballpark that doesn't draw. How about that great rivalry between Miami and Tampa? That's going on now. You hear a lot about that one. I'm the secret weapon. Thank you, Traveler. But the Rays could be considered as a team that could really use Kimbrel and Keuchel as well. So let's see what happens there. And how about, does anybody think that the Washington Nationals are going to start selling off players? And who do you think they'll be selling? Are they going to wind up selling Anthony Rendon instead of signing him to a long-term deal? Is that a possibility? Who else? No way. Andrea in the background says no way. Does anybody think that it's possible for the Nats to trade off? Would they trade off Max Scherzer? Is that possible? Would the Nats actually trade Max Scherzer? What is he going to be, 34, 35 years old? I mean, Rendon to the Yankees, as per the fan addict. That's a, hey, there you go. That's a good one. Florian will go back to, you'll see what's going to happen. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting, especially when you consider that Tampa is in and the Nationals could be out. Okay? All right, for those of you who made it into the chat room, I will offer you a trivia question. Absolutely a great trivia question, and here it is. Who is baseball's fastest working pitcher? That means who throws the ball the fastest between pitches. Who's number one? Gets the ball, fires it back. Who does it the quickest, okay? He's not a rookie. And stop it. You want to participate? Yes. Get in the chat room, you knucklehead. And who's the slowest pitcher between pitches? So we want the fastest pitcher, 19.1 seconds between pitches, and the slowest pitcher, 31.5 seconds, okay? It's not Charlie Morton, okay? It's not Chapman. But the slowest pitcher is a relief pitcher. I will tell you that. The fastest working pitcher is a starter. How's that? All right. And yes, I got a lot of good stuff for you like that. Okay. Who is the only? What is the only? I'll give you those answers. All right. Not Tanaka. Lou is in there throwing in. Anytime Lou comes in the chat room, you know that he starts to throw out Yankees, no matter what the question is. All right. Who's the fastest at getting rid of the ball? Who's the slowest at getting rid of the ball between pitches? 19.1 is the fastest, 31.5 is the slowest, and so on down the line. Okay? After 7 2/3 scoreless innings, Zach Greinke's ERA over 6 starts dating back to April 20th is a scorching 109. And that is the lowest by any pitcher who's thrown at least 30 innings since that date. Now, Mike Sorotka, who pitched last night, had only pitched 24 innings, so I'm not counting last night. Okay? Yeah, David Price is slow. Verlander or Scherzer. No, I'll give you the answers to those questions. The answer to the first question, Wade Miley, nobody would have gotten it. 19.1 seconds between pitches. And the slowest, Kenley Jansen, 31.5. But I'll throw in another one. Among the starting pitchers, what pitcher has generated the highest percentage of swings and misses? And I will only tell you that it's not close. Not close. Among starting pitchers, what pitcher has, Phil Chaplin has joined us, has generated the highest percentage of swings and misses, and it's not close. Good morning to Easy Kill. Will you please, she's yelling Trevor Bauer. All right, I've heard her yell Trevor Bauer before, but I didn't want to look into the room, all right, and see what's going on. Anyway, what? Yeah, I'm running Spreaker. Is there something wrong, Lou? Lou is notified that that there may be a problem. Is there a problem, Lou? Yeah, help me. All right, and I got technical support here.
See if it's a problem.
He just asked me if I was running Spreaker. Oh, wait a second. I'm not supposed to do anything. I don't know what the problem is.
Can I look over here and make sure it's running, please?
Yeah, let's go down here. Let's go down here. Yeah. So I see both. I see that
Yeah,
moving and that
they,
moving.
let me go back over here. I want to see what they're saying now.
Uh,
He says you're good.
I was good. Oh, that's sorry, Lou. That's a tough thing to do, Lou. I wondered if I had lost the sound. Okay, sometimes we do lose the sound. So the Diamondbacks rolled to an 11-1 win over the Pirates on Wednesday. They got their bats going very early. You know, they've been slumping. But Chris Archer, and how about that trade with Glasnow and Meadows for Chris Archer? Archer could not command the ball. Absolutely could not command the ball. So historically, Arizona has found success against Archer. Okay, and also Torey Lovullo's teams. Well, he was the bench coach for Boston, so they know how to give. Archer gave up 7 runs, 4 hits in just 3 2/3. He walked 4, including 3 of the first 4 batters he faced. And right off the bat, you knew there was going to be trouble. Good morning to Malpal. So the Diamondbacks jumped out to a 3-0 lead after 1 inning. Now, some bad news in addition to Greinke. David Peralta left the game after 5 innings with right trap tightness, but they don't believe that it's a long-term issue. Okay, they feel that some therapy in the training room, he'll be fine, but you want to monitor that. Escobar left the game, but that was due to Torey Lovullo's wanting to see Carson Kelly at third base. It was not due to an injury. A couple of people have asked me this morning, including Methical, who really didn't ask me this, but I got to say hello, to the fact that, there was an injury on Escobar. There was not. It was wanting to see Carson Kelly get in. And Taijuan Walker threw 17 pitches Wednesday in a rehab outing at Salt River Fields. After 10 pitches in the first inning, he tossed 7 more, and then he felt some right shoulder soreness. So, as a precaution, he was removed from the game. That was the right thing to do, and there you go. So, Zach Greinke working on another spectacular shutout. Remember, he missed 6 weeks 2 years ago with a strained oblique muscle. He says he believes this abdominal strain is a lighter injury, and he hopes he's out closer to 6 days than the 6 weeks that he was out, okay? So there you go. Greinke's going to get an MRI today. The Diamondbacks, 24-20, won the game. They took 2 out of 3 from Pittsburgh, and there you go. And since Greinke got hit on opening day at Dodger Stadium, where he gave up 7 earned runs, he has gone 6-0 with a 1.92 ERA. And if this injury is not serious, looks like Greinke is well on his way to his 6th All-Star game, okay? So there you go. Now, I forgot to do what I planned on doing the opening, but I'm listening to the Rotoballer show this morning on Sirius XM Radio, and I like Josh Hayes. I don't really know Josh Hayes, so I like him only because anybody who does a show at 6 a.m. is a hero to me, especially when you live in California. So I don't know how many people know this about Josh. He lives in California. So what is that, 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock? And then how do you prepare for the night games? I mean, it's a good thing it's only a 1 hour show and they only spend a couple of minutes on baseball. But, boy, I got to give Josh a lot of credit for hammering that out. Not easy to do. And, of course, Real Talk Raph is a very nice guy. But I think they went off the track this morning. Now, I'm just going to say it real quick and get off because I want to know if I was wrong or not. Anyway, Joe Sheehan, who's been around, been very well respected, Sports Illustrated and a couple of other places for the last 25 years or so, he pointed out that he thought that in the NBA draft should be abolished. All drafts should be abolished. He asked the question, why don't NBA players, for example, have a choice of where they want to live and where they want to work? If your boss called you this morning and said you got to go out to Topeka, Kansas, and Paducah, Kentucky, and that's where your offices are gonna be. I mean, I know that happens sometimes, But shouldn't in today's day you have a choice when you come out of college of picking where you want to look for a job? Okay, so in talking about that, and you could debate that,